Happy New Year, everyone. It's Robin from My Kreations. How are you guys doing today? It's 4:30, 4:45 in the afternoon, and as you all know, you've seen me. I've posted this little guide that I'm going to be doing it, and I've had a couple of people that are interested in it but want to see it, so I'm going to put it together for you. The fabric that I'm going to be using is this tartan. And I didn't have quite enough, so I'm going to be using some plain jute with it as well. So it's a little bit different petal. I don't use this petal all the time, but I thought that I would take some time this afternoon to put this together and show you how I do it. If you're interested in buying one of these heads to make one for yourself, my friend at Kathleen Kreations is the one that makes these. And I will be putting in the comments the link to her page, so that if you're interested in purchasing one, you could talk to her about it. Okay? She's located in Windsor, and I'm not sure if she ships to the U.S. or not. You might want to check with her on that. But I know if you're Canadian and you're interested in one, she'd love to get one out to you. Okay? So I see we have a couple of people on. I'm just going to see here if my laptop is being, it doesn't always want to attach for some reason when I go live. I see everybody have their laptop and their phone going and whatever, and just give me a sec. I'll wait for a few more people to come on and then we'll get started. Oh my goodness, there I am. Thanks so much for joining. If you want to join and say hi, I'm going to be posting this on my page, and as well I will be throwing it onto my YouTube channel after, so you can. Thanks so much for joining. If you want to join and say hi, I'm going to be posting this on. Just give me a sec here. I got to take the phone. There we go. So we're going to get started. Okay, so the cow head, like I said, the link to purchase this will be in the comments after I'm finished. I'll post that for you, okay? Now, what we're going to be using is the Unique in the Creek ring board. Now, you're going to need 32 pieces of material cut 10 by 10. I'm using a fabric jute a tartan. I bought this a few years ago, and I had almost enough left to make one. I needed 8 pieces, so I'm integrating this plain color in with it. So the outside ring, I'm going to be using this, and on the inside ring, it's going to be one of these and one of the jute. So pretty much the inside pieces are pretty much hidden by the head. So it's not going to be that noticeable, but it's just a way. Yeah, this is like a teal color. I got it originally here at the store that I always shop at, Greenbacks. And then I went searching, and someone told me BB Craft had it. And, oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling with a cold. BB Crafts I ordered, and I got a bunch of it, but they don't have it anymore. And I'm really struggling. I can't find it anywhere. If any of you do know where this is, reach out, let me know. I want to buy some because I love it with these cows. The material goes so well with it. Like it's, the head just pops right off of it. Okay, so like I said, you need 32 pieces, 10 by 10. Or however you want to integrate it in. What I've done is I have the 16 pieces cut 10 by 10 for the outside, and then I have 8 of these ones and 8 of these ones, and then I'm going to be using raffia for the bow. And it's pretty much, the cow is the star of the show on this. So I'm going to show you how I do the the pedals. Let me just bring it down here. This is a brand new tripod that my girls gave me for Christmas, so I thought I would try it out with this. So just give me a sec while I adjust this. Okay. Whoopsie. That looks pretty good. So I'll be working here. Now this is the top. On these ring boards, you can see that there's the two holes close together. I always put a a thicker zip tie through there for my holder. So, and then I have all the 32 pieces put through there. Oh, except I missed one right there. Let's put him in there so it doesn't mess me up. I haven't been live for a while. You know, I kind of took a little bit of time off over Christmas. My kids were both home, so. Okay, so now we're going to get started. So I've got my 8 pieces here we're going to start with. And how I do this petal is I bring the top down to the middle and the bottom up. So we make kind of like a canoe. Okay, that's what it kind of looks like. And I bring the bottom to the top. And then just kind of squinch it together. Now we're going to have to be figuring out, you want to make sure that the amount that is the zip tie, like what you've got for your zip tie, is the same on most of them, because you want the edge of the circle to be the same all the way around, right? So let me just put this on here. Now I'm going to, what I always do is I make one and I use it as my pattern, so that when I do the next one, I can just put this one on it, and then I know that I've got my zip tie in the right spot. So I'm not going to cut that one off. I'm going to keep that one and use it at the end. So there we go, and we bring this up. Tuck our edges in. Bring it together. So we have that little pocket. And then I'm going to put it on like this so that I get my zip tie in the same spot. This is the easiest way to do it, because you want your petal to be the same size. So you know by putting it on there that you've got it in the same. And then we're going to cut that end off. And I always cut it about there, about a finger width. So there's your first petal. Okay, so then we got to do that 32 times. It's the same petal all the way around. So again, we're going to go up the middle. And you're going to make your boat. Now, if you remember, for those of you who've been watching me for a while, my bubble petal that I did with my flamingos for the stomach feathers, this is kind of the first part of that bubble petal. Whoops, I didn't put that on there. So remember, this is where we went with that, and then we pulled it together and put the zip tie in the back, and that made our bubble petal for the flamingo stomach. So this is the first part of that petal. So if you made a flamingo, this is probably familiar to you. There's 2. So I hope you guys all had a good New Year's. I know we had a very good time.
Yes.
Thanks, Kathleen. Happy New Year to you too.
Here we go.
I have a lot of big things planned for this year. I'm going to be doing a lot of painting the next month. Flamingos. I'm in a big sale in April, and my husband and I are going to Florida in March, so I've got to have everything pretty much done before we go. And so I've got some of the wood pieces cut. I'm going to be doing some painted sunflowers on wood, which are really cool. I did them last year. But this gal that I met at one of my other sales, she's got a CNC machine, or like a wood laser cutter, and she's gonna cut everything for me. So it's so cool. She did those flamingos that I just did, and oh my God, they're beautiful. The one little flamingo with the palm tree, the gal's picking him up on Monday. She's heading to Florida, and she's gifting it to a friend that's down there right now that looks after their place when they're not there. So, and then I had the first ones that I did, the two I did, it was for a gal that was heading to Florida in October. They were going down to open up their place, and then they come back at Christmas and then go back. They're probably on their way back now. She bought one for herself, for her porch, and one for her friend. So there's a few of them making their way down to Florida. I'm hoping that I get some up here in tiki bars around where I live, because we live at the lake as well. So it would be nice to maybe have some of those flamingos at tiki bars in Ontario too. So you can see the nice thing about this, gals, is if you have material that frays, this is all folded inside of itself. So any of that darn material that you get that you love, but it's just such a pain to work with, this is a great fold to think about trying to use with that. Anything with jute in it is a pain. I had to cut this with scissors too. And so, you know, it's a little bit slow going, but and again, just measuring that, where that zip tie goes, just makes it a little bit easier when you're putting it on the frame, to make sure that when the edges of the petal as it goes together, the circle looks a little bit, you know, it goes in together okay. Now you may have a better way to measure the, you know, for the petals, but I've just found that that's the easiest way for me to do it. So, okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first row, and then I'm going to sign off, and when I'll do the second row, because I mean it's exactly the same as the first row, and then I'll sign back on when I'm putting on the head and the raffia, so you don't have to sit and watch me do the same thing over and over and over and over again. I know everybody's busy. Oh my goodness, we were in Windsor for New Year's. We went down to the casino, and on the night of the 31st, we went out for dinner. We had tickets for a show there, and we just went back to the room after. We didn't stay up until midnight. I think I heard all the hooting and hollering, but we were long in bed. And that night at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up sneezing my head off, and I've been sneezing ever since, so I don't know. I've been taking some Tylenol, and it has been helping, but we have my husband's family are coming for Christmas tomorrow, so I want to be feeling good. We're having ham and scalloped potatoes, so it should be fun. Oh, hello, Donna. How are you? Thank you for joining. Like I said, this petal that I'm doing is the bubble petal that I used on the breast, for the breast feathers on my flamingo. So I'm not finished putting the zip tie in the back of the petal. I'm leaving it like a little triangle. And this works really well. Another time, I used that bubble petal on the ones that I did last year with the pink and the green hydrangeas for Easter and Mother's Day. Absolutely beautiful. And again, using the material that really frays. This is a great petal to use for that, because you're folding everything all in and you don't have to worry about it fraying. Oh my goodness, Debbie. I haven't really been on too much. My girls come home for Christmas. They were here early, like the 18th, and I had them until the 27th, I think, or 28th, 27th or 28th. So I wasn't really on. I was done, and so you really didn't miss anything. But I hope you're feeling better. My goodness. Yeah, you guys are going to see a bit more of me this year. I've really got a strong focus on getting my videos on YouTube and doing more of editing, and I'm taking classes on it. I got money for Christmas to get a new camera. I want to get like a GoPro type camera, so the video quality will be a little bit better. And I can do the classes for editing at Apple in London, but you know, for where we are right now, we live up in Ipperwash, which is right on Lake Huron. The weather is terrible, and London is awful to drive to this time of year, because the weather from Lake Erie and Lake Huron run right across, and London gets battered from both sides, and it's just not the best. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to that, but I wish I could find someone closer that could come over and help me, because I'm a hands-on learner. I tried to go onto the YouTube and learn how to do it that way, but I need someone to point and show, and it just, you know, I'm an OG. So the nice thing about this wreath is when you're finished, you're finished. You know, you don't have to go around and trim anything or do anything, because everything is done as you go. And these wreaths have been such a good seller for me. My friend Kathleen Boice from Katlin's Kreations makes these heads. Now, I don't know if you saw at Christmas time, I had the Christmas mousses. She did those as well. And I have bought quite a few pieces from her. I will be putting the link to her in the comments, so you'll be able to see it. So if you do want to buy one of these heads from her, absolutely, just reach out to her. Again, if you're in the US, I'm not sure if she's shipping to if she's shipping these to the US or not, but I know if you're Canadian, she would love to ship it to you, no problem. Okay, here's my last one. So this is 16 pieces, 10 by 10. And I'm using the previous one so that my zip ties are all pretty much in the same spot, so that my petals, when I put them on the form, I am using Unique in the Creek ring board, and I do have an affiliate link on my at the top of my page. You'll be able to see it. So if you're interested in buying any, reach out. Just click on that link and sign into your Unique in the Creek account, and I get a little thank you from Unique in the Creek for you buying from them. So, okay, so here's the board. Again, it's the ring board from Unique in the Creek. And you can start anywhere. I don't like to start at the top, so where my little guy is here, I'm not going to start there. I'll probably start over here somewhere. Oh, looky there, I missed another one. No wonder it didn't take me long to put these in. I missed a couple holes. I always like to fill, I don't know, what do you guys do? I always like to fill in the zip ties on these boards before I start. I don't use these boards for everything, but I do like to use them for stuff like this because I want it to be like the same all the way around. And this particular petal, it looks so nice on this board after we get it all finished. So we're going to start. Now what I do is when I should do this so you can see. When I'm on the outside, I'm going to remember we have the zip tie in the same spot on every petal. So when I put it on the board, I'm going to tighten the zip tie on top of the zip tie that I did to make the petal. It's just kind of a little bit of an extra hold. And I point them up. Okay, so they kind of go on a little bit of an angle. So when you see it, it's kind of pointed up. And then basically what we're going to do is tighten that, zip it off, and then we'll go to the next one. And they just lay on top of one another. And I always start on the outside. I suppose you could start on the inside if you wanted to, but I always start on the outside. And then tighten it up. So there's what it's looking like. Isn't that pretty? And again, you don't see any frays. And having the petals all made, like this petal, you could make this petal while you're sitting watching TV. You could make this whole thing while you're sitting watching TV if you want. I'm actually sitting just at our island in the kitchen, but my craft room out in the garage is a little nippy tonight, so I'm not going to be working out there probably for a little bit. I brought all my paint in because when I did paint that one flamingo, the pink paint went just a tiny little bit sticky, and I'm thinking that it was because it was just a little bit cool. So I sanded it all down and warmed up the paint, and it went on much easier the second coat. You can see how quickly this goes. And again, this fabric is cut 10 by 10, 32 pieces, because there's 16 holes on each, like there's 2 rows of 16. This fabric I got at B&B Crafts, but it was a couple of years ago. The first original pieces of fabric I got at Greenbucks. That's where I originally bought it. And he couldn't get it anymore for me. He kind of got it in on a special at Christmas time. And so then I went online and somebody said, oh, they have that at B&B Crafts. So I reached out to them, but they don't have it anymore. I would buy a case of it if I could find it. It is just so beautiful to work with. And with these cow heads, I mean, the color, the teal color with the red is just absolutely beautiful. So again, I put because I measured the zip tie when I made the petal, I'm putting the petal on the wreath just above the zip tie, so I know that they're going to be the same all the way around. So it just takes a little bit of time when you're making it to measure each one, but you know what? It just makes a really nice and neat project for the finish. So it's coming along nicely here. That was my practice one. Cut that off. Yeah, so I have my husband's kids are coming for Christmas tomorrow. They live in Michigan. We're only about an hour to Sarnia, which is right on the Port Huron and the Ontario-Michigan border at Port Huron. So they all live just outside of there. So it's not a big long drive for them, but you know, coming across the border is a bit of a pain these days, as we all know. But it's nice that they can come. We had them in the summer for a little barbecue afternoon and evening, and they stayed overnight and went home the next day. It's nice to have. We live right 2 minutes to the lake, so for the kids to come. Oh, get up there. That one went underneath. It's just a little tricky when you're going around your tied one. That's going to be your bow or your hanger. Okay. And here's the last one. When you do the last one, you just lift that one up and you flip that in underneath and you pull it tight. Okay, so there's our first row. So I'm just going to pop you back up here for a sec so you can see it. Sorry, the brand new tripod, so I'm still trying to figure out how to. So there's the first row. Isn't that pretty? Now, to give you an idea, this is what I'm talking about. The second row is going to be the jute with the green. So the cow pretty much covers most of it, right? So you see the green all around the edge. So that's where your eye's going to be. So I'll put like a bow up here made out of just the raffia, and down here somewhere I'll have a bow with some jute. So what I'm going to do is, do you guys want me just to keep making the petals and going on, or do you want me to do it and come back as a part 2? Comment in the comments, okay, and let me know what you want me to do. There's 14 people on, so if you want me to keep going, I can. It's up to you. Let me know. Do you want me to come back, or do you want me just to keep going? Oh, we got one more person on. Well, I'll keep going then. It's fair to say the most common wall covering system used today. So this is going to be my practice one. So I'll use this one as my marker for the next row. So again, I've got 32 pieces, 16 and 16, and I'm using the green teal, and I didn't quite have enough, so the second row, or the inside row, is going to be 1 teal and 1 jute. Keep going. Yeah, okay. I'm trying not to talk too much so that I can keep it kind of going, because I know how, gosh, I watch a few people and they spend so much time talking and not working, and we end up being on the call for like 3 hours. I just love making this petal. I have used it. You probably have noticed, for those that have watched me for a while, I don't do a whole lot of different stuff. Like, I don't do a whole lot of different petals and stuff. I pretty much stick to my sunflowers, when I do those, I use that one petal, and I use this petal a lot, or a variation of this petal is when I put the zip tie on the back of the, back of this, like I did for my flamingo. I do have an angel wing wreath to make. A dear friend of mine lost her mom, which is just really sad this time of year, and she wanted something for her cemetery. And I said, why don't I do an angel's wing for you? Because her mom had a few pieces of mine, and so I've made some stuff for her. So I'm going to do, I have a couple of the poppy flowers left, which are absolutely gorgeous. And I have some beautiful green, winter greens, and I'm going to integrate that in with it. And I just got a bunch of white from a friend up here. She's going out of wreath making. So I have a whole bunch of the sparkly white, which is going to be so nice. It's going to be beautiful. I am looking to do a class for the angel wings, actually. If you're local to where I live, I want to do, for spring. I haven't done a lot of those. I've made a few, like maybe 5 or 6, but I absolutely love it with this white sparkle mesh that I'm using. Oh my God, they're beautiful. Again, the fabric is 10 by 10, and I have 32 pieces. You can use whatever, I suggest maybe using something that really frays a lot, because that's the type of material that sometimes we have in our stash that we don't want to use because it doesn't look nice when we're finished. But in this case, the petal is all folded inside of itself, so there's no raw edges. So it's a perfect petal to use like that. Okay, and there's that number 8. And the cow head I purchased from my girlfriend Kathleen Boice, who is Katlin's Kreations, and I will put the link for her page in the comments when I post the video, so watch for that. She also is the one that made the moose heads for me. She's done some flamingo, that witch flamingo that I made. She did that. So it's okay. So we got 8 of those done. So now we're going to do 8 of the plaid. I have done it like this before. The last time I did one, I wanted to make sure that I had enough of this plaid that I could do one more if I had to. So I was pretty close in getting that getting the last one done. With what was left, I needed 8 pieces. But I did put a little bit of jute in one that I did. Yeah, so I made my scalloped potatoes today for our dinner tomorrow, so the kitchen smells amazing. I cooked a couple of squash too, so we're gonna have a nice time. I'm having ham, so I'll just throw the ham in tomorrow. Got it all thawed, and it's sitting in my outdoor fridge. We have a little cooler that we have on our deck that we use for refreshments in the summertime, and in the winter it's great for this time of year when you're trying to defrost something. Once it gets somewhat defrosted, you can put it in out there and it doesn't take up any fridge room, so it's great. You kind of get, once you make these, you kind of get an idea where the zip tie has to go for how much of the tail you have hanging out. So, and to be honest, the outside row is probably a little more important than the inside row, because the inside row you don't even hardly see it, but it's still good to have that as a, kind of best practice to keep you on the straight and narrow. And by, when you put it on the frame, by putting it on the frame behind the zip tie that when you made the pedal, just kind of make sure that the pedal won't slip out, which is a good thing, because you know, for those of you who have used these frames with the zip tie, sometimes the pedal can slip out. When I make those flower ones, those florals, this is the frame I use for it, and I often will just put a little dab of glue on each zip tie, because I have had it where the flowers pull out. Like at the end when I'm kind of, you know, fluffing it, making sure that it looks okay, I'll have a flower pop out and it's like, oh man. So now I always just put a little dab of glue on it. It just takes a second, and then it's that peace of mind thing. You don't have to worry. The only bad thing about that is, and you know, we do sometimes have it where you make something and it doesn't sell, and I will keep it, pack it away the second season. If it doesn't sell and it's on one of these, I cut it off, and I cut the material off and use the board for something else. And if you have some glue on the petals, it makes it a little difficult to get the petals off, but most of the time those flower ones, those go, like I don't have any left. I have a couple of the tulip ones left from last year, but none of the, like the spring flower ones, they're all gone. So I have a beautiful yellow tulip one that I just sold. My girlfriend in Sonia's coming, she's gonna take it for the springtime. And it's beautiful. I love yellow tulips, it's my favorite flower. And this is the last one. See how quick that was? It took no time at all. What time is it anyway? It's like 5:20. So we've been about 40 minutes or so. So that's pretty good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to, come on, get out of there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a jute, and we're going to, can you see that? Okay. When we put this one in, we're going to cross it. So we're going to have, this one's going this way, and this one's going this way. So I'll show you here. So see how we have the blue ones going this way, and the second row is going that way. And then what we'll do, cut that off. And then we're going to do this one. So we'll do that. And we have it on top of the zip tie. Now you're going to monkey around with this when you get it done, how you want the petal to look. Because you want to, I always like to have the top, the second row going over top of the first row. So, but it's all in how you want to do it. Like you can do this however you want it to look. I mean, when you're doing it all the same color, it does have a little bit of different look than it does here, because we have light color with the dark. But having it just going over top of that edge, I don't know, I just like how it looks. And I've done a few of them, so I've done them a few different ways, and it just, you know. And then you just kind of flip it as you go. think I dropped the leg. This is so rich looking. I mean, it's beautiful. Just love this material. Oh, geez, look at it. Oh, crap. I put two, boo-boo. That should have been the jute one. That's another reason why I love these so much. When you make a boo-boo and you have to cut them off, it just takes 2 seconds. There we go. Put these guys in there. You're probably all screaming at me, Robin, you should have put a brown one. Now this boy is for sale. I do have it posted and I have had a lot of interest in it. But he's still available. So if you are interested, reach out to me and I'll inbox you and give you the details. If you're Canadian, I can actually quote you with shipping. Or if you're local, you can pick up. Oh, there's my practice guy. One thing I do want to get, I think I'm going to be going over to Hobby Lobby. I've got a wreath class coming up in 2-3 weeks, and I need to get some 5-inch red because I'm going to be doing the Valentine heart, and I'm doing the ruffle method with it, so I'm going to need to have the 5-inch, and I love Hobby Lobby's 5-inch mesh. If Michael's here in Canada have their sale on, they have something like buy 3 get 2 free or something. I'll get it at Michael's because I do like the Michael's as well. But I bought the frames already. I got them from Amazon because I couldn't find them at Dollar Tree anywhere. I have reached out to Dollar Tree US if I could, order them, because we have a post office box in Michigan that I could use. But they haven't gotten back to me, so. The nice thing is, if I'm really stuck, I can get Dave's daughter to check for me in Michigan. She's really good. And if I needed something like at Hobby Lobby picked up. Okay, where's the... And because they are even, like there's 30 or there's 6 gains, so it's an even number, you never end up with 2 the same. It's always, if you're doing every other one, as long as you don't make a boo-boo like I did, it always ends up there. This is where you kind of have to move them around and there is our, so here's the wreath. This is the top here. So like I said, these things here, you're not going to really see too much of that, because when we put the cow head on, you can see, you see very little of it. So that's cool. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I got my raffia here. So let me just figure this out here. I just grabbed a bunch of it. And what I do is I tie the raffia bow just on the horn of the cow. It's the only bow that goes actually on the wreath is the one at the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna take the horn. And just do a bow. And what I am going to do after is I will put just a tiny little dab of glue on that so that it, it's not. Let's try this again. I'm going to do my, go backwards. Better. So we just have we have a little bow on it. Because again, the way that we want this is we want the cow to be the star of the show, right? So I'll just trim a little tiny bit of that off. So what I'll do is I'll just throw a little tiny dab of glue under there, just so that the bow stays tied. And then I always usually try to, these eyes, they're so cute. So, to be honest with you, I usually brush it to get it the way I want it to be, but I want the eyes to show, right? So, and then they're clay. They're not made out of, like she does clay eyes, so it's beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to put it on the board. Now we'll find the top. So there's the top. That's about where we want it to be. And she puts little things on here. So what I'll do is I'll find a hole. There. And then I'll put this one through the same hole on the other side. So we are 1, 2 down. So I'm going to use that hole. I'm going to just throw that in there so it doesn't. Again, this is why I love using these boards, because you can make it exactly the way, like you can make it even. You know what I mean? So I'm going to put that one in over here. If it looks too high, I can move it down. Come on, get in there. There we go. He's on there. And now what I will do at the bottom here is I'll just put a tiny little bit of glue underneath the cow's chin and glue it to the mesh down here so that it stays. You could probably put a tie on it, but I mean, that looks almost perfect. Isn't that cute? Oh my God, I'm so in love with these. Yeah, so I love him. Okay, so now we're going to do one little bow. I've got a little bit of jute here. And I've got some raffia. Let me get my bow maker. And we're gonna, it's not gonna be a big bow. I only got a little bit left. But again, we want to make sure that our little cow is the star of the show. Around with that.
The gauge I'm trying to install on each truck is right here. Make sure it's not the gas temperature, and that lets you know you don't really want to take it on 1250.
And I'll just pull this. Okay. See where we want to put that. I don't want to put it, I don't know. So I have an extra long zip tie. So just feed it through. Come on. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, you. There we go. Now, I'm going to stick that in the hole right there. So again, you just feed it through the hole. Using a little bit extra long. This is an 8-inch one. It'll pull in nicely. Just fiddle it all around. Fiddle it around a little bit. This guy, he's going to go underneath. it under control, you can flip them back and forth, and so that they're covered up. I might just make that bow a little bit different, but that just kind of gives you an idea of what. So here we are. So here we go. There's our little Highland Cow. He's all ready to go to somebody's house. He's got 32 pieces of fabric. And he's all zip tied. Look at how nice the back looks. I'll trim this up. Bring it up like that and put it. But isn't that pretty? It's about 20 to 23 inches in diameter. The nice thing is, if you have a screen door, it will fit on the screen door, between the screen and your regular door, because look how skinny he is. So he won't, you know, or she, I guess it's a she with the bow on her. But anyway, that's basically how I do my cow. So if anyone is interested in purchasing, let me know. Reach out to me. I will be putting the link for the head in the comments where you can buy it. So the board, the head, and whatever fabric you want to use, because this fabric is no longer available, unfortunately. But again, this is like a jute mesh, so something that really frays, would be the best bet for you to use for this. Okay, so we shall talk to you all really soon, and stay watchful because the flamingos are coming. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.